In today's video, we are going to discuss a card that has risen over 870%. And that's not all we're going to talk about today. In today's video, the question is, are you going to get caught in the FOMO, or are you going to sit back and watch what happens? Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thank you again for hanging out with me on the channel today. So we are talking about a card that has risen 870%, if you can even believe that, when there are other options of this card available for just a couple of dollars. I know, right? What am I talking about? Take a look at this. This is what we are talking about. So here is Hew the Entwood, the borderless poster from Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. This card was only a couple of bucks, and it jumped through the roof, and now it's up 870%. Now, if you want a closer look at this card to understand exactly what we're talking about, well, remember there are other options. Here's the extended art version, and it's 69 cents. Let's jump back. Same card, cool poster look to it from like the 1970s horror film genre. Okay, and that card's, $28, but this one is 69 cents. So when we take a closer look at the card, Hew of the Entwood is a mythic for 2 red and 3 generic. It's a sorcery that says, sacrifice any number of lands. Reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands sacrificed this way. Choose any number of artifact and or land cards revealed this way. Put all non-land cards chosen this way onto the battlefield. Then put all land cards chosen this way into the battlefield tapped. Then put the rest of them on the bottom of your library in a random order. Now let's jump back to the image of the Hew the Entwood. Okay. So we've got a card here with a massive spike in price. We can tell it's because of the artistic outlook of the card, because let's face it, these poster cards are kind of cool, but at the same time, is it worth that much more money? Is somebody going to be willing to pay that kind of cash flow to get to this card? Because this is what people are trying to imply. When you look at that card and look at the value of the regular edition versus the poster. And the run on these cards is not just on TCG Player. I put out a few emails and texts and calls, and before I knew it, a lot of sales happened over the last couple of days of these poster cards. They started to disappear. Now, that means that somebody is trying to get a controlling stake in a lot of these cards because nobody's really opening that mass quantity of Lord of the Rings anymore. So what does this mean going forward, and what does this mean for the value of these cards? Can they really be that high based on artistic appeal? Is this artistic look of them going to drive the price and playability of the card, or is the card just the card? And if somebody wants it, they can pay the 69 cents. Because this isn't the only card. Check out this one. So here we have Arwen Mortal Queen Borderless Poster Edition Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. This card has shot up to $70, okay? It has had a monthly change of $61, guys. This is insane. Now, of course, if we look at this card in its regular kind of borderless edition, it's only $2.34. That's a far cry from what they're trying to charge for a poster edition, if you can find one, because many places, of course, have it sold out right now. And this brings you to the actual card. What does it do? What are we talking about? Well, this is an Elf Noble Arwen, and of course, it's 1 white, 1 green, and 1 generic for a 2/2 legendary creature Noble Elf. Arwen Mortal Queen enters a battlefield with an indestructible counter on it. 1. Remove an indestructible counter from Arwen. Another target creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter and a lifelink counter on the creature, and a +1/+1 counter and a lifelink counter on Arwen. So great, you get to boost them both up. But that's a $2 card to me. It makes sense. It's a fun card. It's great. But it's for $2, as opposed to looking at the cool edition poster artwork and saying that's a $70 card based on the artwork. And this is what somebody out there, in my estimation, is trying to have happen, okay? They are trying to make this, they're trying to make this a thing. They're trying to get the market to believe that this is the pricing for these cards. And this is where FOMO can get out of hand. because some people will take the bait, they will take the lead, and they will chase down these cards. And if you look at that Hew the Entwood, the Hew the Entwood was a couple of bucks, okay? And now it's like $28, $29. So if that person or people bought 20 copies and they sell 6 back into the market while the rest of them were free, they got their money back and they actually made some cash because a few people paid the price that they are now asking for that card. Meanwhile, an actual playable edition of that card is 69 cents. So this really comes down to not the words on the card because they're identical. This comes down to the artistic appeal of a card that you're about to sleeve up and play in your deck. You're going to play with the card. You're going to put it in your deck. And yes, some people will collect these and just hold them on the side. I get that. It is Lord of the Rings after all, and there is a very large audience for this particular type of product. But that doesn't mean that that price is justified. That doesn't mean that you have to pay that price. How high could it possibly go? What's the ceiling on this market before you go and buy? Before you're thinking, before somebody out there is thinking of buying it? Because there are still sales happening now at the higher price. So somebody out there is already hooked in. They're already taking the bait, hook, line, and sinker, and they're paying the higher prices thinking that something they're not aware of is happening in the market. Meanwhile, this kind of market sentiment has happened before with other types of artwork cards in the game, and eventually they go back down in price. They do not hold their value. They do not keep up with what the market actually demands. It is a moment in the market when everyone feels a certain way. Instead of looking at it rationally and logically that the card already exists if you needed one, as opposed to the special poster edition to make you feel like you blinged out your deck. When you had this option for months and months and months for a couple of dollars and you never chose to do it. And now, with the market spiking and the cards disappearing, everyone's going, what's going on? What did I miss out on? This is so unfair. I should have. You had your chance. So now sit back and relax. If I was giving you advice right now, which I am, I would sit back and relax and see what happens. See where the market takes the cards in the next 6 months. Can they possibly hold that value when the other card versions actually already exist and they're pennies on the dollar? If you really just wanted to play with the card. And by the way, the other artworks are very nice. They're not the poster look, but they are very nice. I can't wait to look at this 6 months from now. Somebody's got to remind me in 6 months because I'm going to forget. You're going to remind me in 6 months and say, hey, Moxman, do you remember this? Did you check this out and see where the prices are at? I should leave a note for myself because these are the types of videos that I look back and say, this didn't spike because of a combo. This didn't spike because of a new card coming out that breaks a reserve list thing and filters down, and we have all kinds of multiple cards spiking like we've seen with Bloomburrow. Or an underappreciated card because this card already exists. There's just different artwork versions that now seem ramped up in value. Anyway, I think it's ridiculous to pay a high price like this just for a piece of artwork, a look to the card, when I can have the functional card for 60 cents, for $1, for $2. But you know what? I want to know what you guys think. Would you pay those prices? Would you jump into this FOMO pit, swim through to get the poster card you want? Or are you willing to wait for it and be patient like a gremlin? Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with the Moxman. Drop those comments. Give these videos a thumbs up and a like. And if you made it this far in the video, I'll give you a boomstick because you made it that far. But also, if you enjoyed today's content, like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on that notification bell. Guys, 680 subscribers away till we get to 24K. Thanks again for making it possible. Thanks for supporting my channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Hey guys, a big shout out and thank you to the fantastic patrons I have supporting this channel each and every day. Because of those patrons, daily uploaded content happens. That's right, I put a video out every single day. I dream of Soldevi excavations, and I also dream of the day. That day will come when something unique is going to happen on this channel. But you'll never know unless you stick around every day. See you soon! Who would do that? We're here at the end of the video. Seriously, don't buy into that junk. Somebody's just trying to control a piece of the market, make it look good, and make some fast cash. It's an easy way to do it. You throw 20K at the problem, you get 4 or 5% of people interested, they buy some of the cards back at a much higher price point, and you come out looking like a champion at the end, even after the fees and stuff. you're going to come out so far ahead. Guys, welcome back to the Ramble Jamble. You've made it to the end of the video. Now I'm going to swing my arms in the air. That's all I'm going to do. Seriously. I've seen this so many times now, and I've warned so many people that it drives me insane to think that people still fall for this type of tactic in the secondary market sales thing. These cards have existed for a long time, and they were nowhere near this valuable, and now they shoot up and people take an interest. The interest was always there. When you like a card, write it down. Put it on a spreadsheet, put it somewhere you won't forget it, and then when prices shift, you buy it when you get a chance. You don't wait forever, because things like this do happen in the market space. Drives me nuts. Guys, thanks a lot for being here. Shop smart, shop S-smart. If you make it this far, it's the one in the car we want.